G'day Doggies fans. Before we get into the video or the podcast, check out our competition sponsor, Footyhead. It's footyhead.com.au. They've got a bunch of special limited edition Vegas shirts where all teams are represented. Go to their website, check out all their different awesome shirts from small through to 5XL. Check out footyhead.com.au. Now it's time to enjoy the podcast. Check it out. Let's go. G'day, Doggies fans, All Things Bulldogs. How's it going, everyone? It's episode 6 of the podcast, and what a bloody great time it is. There's going to be footy every weekend now for the next 35 weeks at least. And how bloody good is that? How you going, Gas? What's happening, brother?
Awesome, mate. TLT 1. Team List Tuesday 1. How good is that? First one of the year. How good was waiting for that 4 o'clock as usual, even though it's the reserve grade. Any Bulldogs team is an exciting team to wait for. So loving it. Absolutely loving it.
So, guys, we've got a pretty big agenda today. We're going to do our full breakdown of Team Tuesday. We'll look at some of the trial prospects out of that side. So we've got a 26-man squad. I know it says 27, but our 18th man is obviously our members number, which I'll say that about another 18 times throughout the year, I'm sure. We're going to have our Vegas competition, do a quick update on that. It's going well. I've got some articles coming up. G'day, Caveman Kev, and g'day, Timmy. Welcome to you guys on early.
Welcome, guys.
So, look, we're going to if we've got some time, we'll have a sneak peek at what I'm going to do with my Phil Gould story. Still bringing that together. I sort of finish it and then don't feel that I've done it justice. So then I'll do it again and again and again. But we've done a little countdown series. It's hard to keep up with the days, but we got Steve Folkes at number 30, then Chris Anderson, coach number 29, and Phil Gould is next at coach number 28. We'll probably stop after Warren Ryan. Maybe Teddy Glossop gets a go as well. But I think I'll go back further than that. And we're going to have a bit of a debate tonight. So, look, I know a lot of people, even if they don't come on here and say it, think we're a bit small, think that we don't have depth in the forwards. And I'll basically tell you why that's not true anymore. And it's not just because of one player, although that helps, but we're also going to look at where we actually do lack a bit of depth at the moment and talk about that. So we'll wait for a few more people to get on. So the Kendall were coming back this week, weren't they? Or yeah, they're back, are they? Or what's going on? Are they coming back this week, or what's happening?
I'm not sure, mate.
I thought they were coming back this week. Well, there could be 2 podcasts to listen to, guys, and I know there's a few that are on other channels and that sort of stuff. So listen to everybody if you can. See what everyone's got to say. You might hear something that you haven't heard, or just get reaffirmation on what you think. I don't even know if that's a word, Gus. Is that the right word? Reaffirmation? Did I use it right?
That's good enough, mate.
That's good enough. It'll pass. Look, I want to wait for a few more people. We've come on a lot earlier than usual. When we go on a bit later, we get a lot more people. So, look, we could be going for a few hours tonight, Gas. We'll see. If I can get through it, I will. I've been a little bit unwell, guys. So, sort of been managing that for a couple of weeks, and I'll continue to do so. And lucky I'm not going to Vegas because I may not have got on the plane, but we'll see. If anyone wants to give me a ticket, though, I'm sure I'll be right. Just like Finau Latu, I reckon I'll be available for Vegas if I can get there. So we're also going to do a bit of an update on what Gus has said lately. Gus has got a couple of updates from today that we'll talk about. But we'll wait for a few more people to get on. So how you going, Caveman? And thank you for being a paying subscriber. And same with you, Lucas. Good evening to you. Come say hello. Big shout out to Elaine, who's had had to go to hospital last week, and hopefully she'll be okay shortly. Haven't heard about the SG Ball team. I think because they got a bye this week, they get a bit longer to choose their team and their squad. So waiting with anticipation to see if a couple of the kids have made that first cut. Because it's, they have a lot of kids to select from, and you have a mixture of the younger ones coming out of Harold Matts and then the ones that are in their sort of second year of SG Ball. And that's why it's a 2-year cycle is what you need to watch in these lower grades. How good is it, Lucas? How bloody good is it? Like, I can't believe it. What time are we playing? What's happening, Gas? What time? At 4:30 on Saturday?
3:30 on the Saturday.
Oh, 3:30 Sydney time,
4:30. 4:30 Queensland time, yeah, mate. 3:30 Sydney time.
Oh, is that right? I'm not sure. No, I don't know. Aren't you an hour in head?
Yeah, but I think it was, unless it's Eastern time, mate, 3:30, I think they announced the other day.
Yeah, I think it's 4:30 your time, 3:30 our time. You're an hour in front. Yeah. Yep, because it says 4:30 here. So I think in Queensland that'd be 3:30. I know, it gets me all the time. I'm over this bloody daylight savings. But 25 people are here. That's drum roll. What are we going to talk about first, mate? What are we going to talk about first?
Let's start having a look at the team, mate.
Here we go. Look, we've got it all happening here.
TLT, mate. TLT episode 1.
5:30 New Zealand time. You in New Zealand, caveman? Play good on you if you are. All right. So let's get the team list up. You can see it going across there, but we will show you both sides there. What am I doing?
Yeah, mate, it's 3:30 Sydney time, mate. I just checked it again.
So right now it's 7:53 in Sydney, and right now in Queensland it's 6:53.
So that means it's 2:30 your time. The game.
Well, I've got the NRL Saturday, 7th of February. Wits a preseason challenge, says 4:30 p.m. So guys, just be ready to be watching it at 3.
Sorry,
coverage might.
Mate,
coverage might.
Are you sorry, mate? Are you talking about that or the Dragons game, mate? Sorry, buddy.
No. The Bulldogs. It's up on the screen.
Yeah. No, that one's 5:30 Sydney time. Yes, correct. Sorry, mate. I thought you were talking about the Dragons Vegas game, mate.
Oh,
because they announced that this week as well. That's why.
Oh,
that's why I said Sunday 3:30 for the Vegas game. Sunday. This one is Saturday 5:30. I'll be there for this one.
Oh, mate. Off to a great start, bro. Both of us.
That's all right, mate. It's all right, mate.
At least it's not our cameras breaking down.
It's all right. At least we can hear each other and see each other. That's good.
Well,
that's right, Timmy.
It's bloody brilliant, mate.
We were both right, Timmy.
I'll take the comments down so we can. Oh, that's a pretty good view of the team there.
Yep.
So I won't be able to see what's happening for a minute. Actually, if I put that on the other screen, I actually can. That's a good idea. There we go. Sorry, guys, just loving my technology. 2 monitors makes a big help. No Reed Marnie. No, I wouldn't expect to see Reed Marnie, but look, let's go through the sides. You want to read them out? I'll read them out. We've got Tay Cochrane. We've got Tay Cochrane at the fullback for the Bulldogs. Fullback for the Cowboys is Mason Barber. Now, I'm going to try and find out if Mason is related to Benny Barber. It'd be a really good chance that he is.
He does spell the name differently, though.
Oh, does he? Oh, with an A.
Yeah. He spells it with an E. Our one used to be BRBA.
There you go.
BA. Yeah, Barber.
He might not. I'm not sure.
I think he's from North Queensland as well. Sometimes they change the names, they get it mixed up, and they stick with it. It happens.
I remember Bailey Biondi-Odo is related to him as well. Big family up there. They play a lot of rugby league. We've got Tay Cochran, Mason Barber. So Tay, we had a lot of talk about him by Gus. He's really wants to see Tay break it into the big time. So he's one that we're definitely going to watch. I'm going to go through back and talk about 5 guys that you probably don't know much about that you will know a lot about in the future. Cooper Toy, he come to us from the Roosters last year and he played in the preseason trials, did a really good job off the bench. And Cooper, I think, will get a lot of opportunities because of the depth in the outside backs at the moment, just with injuries and stuff like that. And just, a few departures for whatever reasons have left us a little bit thin. So all the talk about the forwards, I'd probably say, and when I say thin, I just mean experience-wise. I don't mean talent-wise or anything like that. And this is why these guys are in the team. So Sire Alatini, we did a young watch on Sasai last year. Got a video of him under the new breed. It's up on Dogfather Media. It's on YouTube here. If you type it in, Sasai Alatini, he's played a lot of edge. He got a couple of games at centre in Ron Massey last year as well. Still very young, and he's in our development list, so he's eligible round 1. And hopefully, look, I'm confident he's played a lot of centre during this preseason and is ready to go. Understands the system. Critter would have done work with him. You got Robert Darby, who's the PNG Internationals, played a lot of games for the Cowboys. Zach Laybut's played a lot of games for the Cowboys. Liam Sutton, he's I think he's had a couple of first grade games as well. Jed Reardon, another one, Steve Reardon's son. He's got a couple of sons. Jed's done really well. And Jed's played on the edge in New South Wales Cup last year, had a fantastic end of the year, and is one that's impressing a lot of people. And he'll do a job at the centres, no problem about that. It's obviously not my first choice. I'd feel better if, you had players like, established centres there that have been playing a lot of centre. But as I've talked a lot about this team, they're picking footballers, they're picking people that, if they say, okay, you're going to be a centre, they'll make their way as a centre, they'll do their best. And they'll develop and they'll keep playing their game of rugby league and living their dreams. So that's it. Jonathan Sewer, really good to see Gus give him a big shout out on the weekend. We love what he did in that game against the Cowboys in the final round of 2024. Didn't get a go last year, but as I said, his last match, if you got Bar TV, I'm going to get the highlights up soon. I just haven't got around to it. Jonathan Sewer, Ala Willie Tonga. Absolutely loved it. I'm pretty sure he played right edge most of the year, right centre, right wing, played on the left edge in that game, and the in and away just gave me memories that I cherish. And I think he's a real talent. And Gus said he believes in Jonathan and he's going to keep backing Jonathan. So hopefully, if we need Jonathan this year at any point, he comes in and doesn't look back. And with Jeffro Rinakama, with that injury he got playing for Fiji, there's a real good chance that Jonathan gets a big opportunity this year and in the top 30, which is a big congratulations to him. Jackson Paulo, who's he was at South Sydney. I think he was at the Roosters. He went to Manly. Now he's at the Cowboys. He's had a couple of good contracts. Obviously, a real talent, but just struggled to lock anything down. Probably not in the top 17 of this Cowboys side. And then you got Jackson Purdue, who I think is destined to play Origin football and representative footy. He's an absolute talent and goes into that Cowboys side. And although they struggled, he was one of their shining lights, especially in open play. He's hard to stop. Give him some space and he's gone. Joseph Teupa, identified by Macca on Twitter. he was telling me about him over 12 months ago. He's like, he's one that he was watching from another, and like was really pushing hard. And he's just quietly gone about his business, with all the fanfare about Conti, his partner, all the fanfare about Mitch Woods and everyone else. Joseph's just kept on going, and he's at the club progressing, and definitely one to watch. Love what it, he had to step up and play some New South Wales Cup last year when Hutchison got injured. He had to come in from flag and play against bigger bodies, bigger men, and did a great job. Did a really good job, laid on some good tries. It's all about the stuff that they've got to do in defence. See, it's one thing to have skill and have talent. That's great. And people keep talking about put this kid into to start in the NRL and whatever else. But to make your tackles against Hamoli Olakawatu or Jaden Sewer or Billy Army Kikau and all these people, to make all those tackles that they're going to make you make, and then rough you up, and then for you to then control the game, control the tempo of the game, play both sides of the ruck, get your kicks right every time, not put them out in the full, and then make the correct plays all the time. That's a big job for a halfback coming through, and that's why so many don't make it. So it doesn't matter how talented they are; they've got to get to that point and do it. So let's back the ones that are there and keep backing the ones to come through and get their opportunity, because they've got to get their opportunity at some point. And I'll tell you something, when we're talking about these players that have got a big rap, like Alex Conti was as big a child star as Lachlan Gowan and Mitch Woods. They're all at our club. Think about that for a second, okay? And Joseph Taupa has, through hard work and dedication, has forced the club to keep picking him and bringing him through, if that makes sense. Jake Clifford, I thought he had some really as usual. Jake Clifford will play first grade and play a few blinders, but then just sort of doesn't keep doing it. I in the Zero Tackle article, I've been doing the top 5 players to improve for every club. I'm nearly finished that. We're up to St George Dragons next, so I'm just finalising that. Jake Clifford was one of the guys that needs to improve for these Cowboys, because he needs to run the ball. It's as simple as that. I'm not sure if he made the cut for the top 5, but he was definitely one that I was did a lot of, like, watching all his videos, looking at his stats, watching highlights of his games and all that sort of stuff. And really good running game, really good long kicking game. It just doesn't do enough of it. So he will be a confident. This is what I mean. In this game, this Cowboy side's going to be confident as hell. When we get to the forwards, players like Harrison Edwards, or from the Bulldogs, and gets better every time he runs out in the field, and Thomas McHaley, the captain, they're gonna play like, they're an Origin side playing an NRL side. They're gonna go out there with that sort of confidence. And McHaley, like, the entire Cowboys fan base were in raptures that Peyton didn't use him for most of the season, after the way he played in the last year's trials. So, used to be at the West Tigers, I think, didn't he, Gas?
Yeah, he played West Tigers, and he also had a season with the Titans as well in between.
Oh, that's right. There you go.
Yeah, 2023. But he played 4 seasons with the Tigers.
Don't know much about Xavier Kerisk. I probably should know a bit more, but I'll do my homework on him. Gordon Chan Tong, Bulldogs Junior, back at the club, has taken a downgrade for a year just to be with us. Those sort of stories keep popping up as good ones for the Bulldogs. Jacob Carraz, come back for an opportunity. Players coming here and just having a run. Bronson Cherry, just giving the Bulldogs an opportunity. We giving him an opportunity. We're giving Gordon the opportunity to come back home and be in our top 30 next year, because yep. And then we've got these 2 blokes, Daniel Saluka Fafita and Samuel Hughes. Now, many people would look at them and go 112 kilos and 111 kilos and both 6 foot could play basketball. They're that big, 6'8" or something. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but they're huge.
We're 193.
Many of our fans would be quite happy if they started for the Bulldogs every week. They're not small, are they? They're big. And they're our reserve grade props at the moment. That's going to tell you a little bit. AJ Jones. So Willie Mason had a story about him. I'll let Gas tell that in a minute. And Helam Lukey, who is on big money at the Cowboys. He's had a couple of bad injuries. He's an NRL first grader in every team that he goes to. Logan Spinks joins our top 30 next year. Another one from that Greater Northern Tigers pathway. By the way, they started. The Laurie Daly and Andrew Johns Cup started last weekend, so I've got a couple of updates on that I forgot about. Kai O'Donnell, son of the crazy man. His father was a mental case and played for the for the Tigers and then the Cowboys.
Yes.
And Sam McIntyre, who's got heaps of first grade experience, and Lipoi Hopoi, now a top 30 player. Last year and the year before, what he did last year compared to the year before was he was 5 times better at everything he did. And the year before, he was able to handle himself in NRL in a team that was struggling a bit. Didn't get as many opportunities last year. Don't think that he's not going as good. He's an absolute superstar, in my opinion. When I say superstar, he's a superstar at this level. I think he's got the potential to be a 150 game NRL prop and further. And he's not huge. He's not huge either. He's about 105 kilos, 106 kilos, maybe 6'2" or something like that.
He's right on 6 foot.
Right on 6, so he's not that big.
183. Yeah, 183.
If you go watch his games, the way he's busting the line, making breaks, backing up through the middle.
Yeah.
You've got players which are just got it. He's got an engine, Lipoi. And
he's only 23. He's still only 23.
He's still a baby. Guys. We've got Fletcher Baker. Broncos brought a rooster. And look, they had been struggling. They always have, they've got players like Carrigan and Huss who play a lot of rep football. They let Flegler go. This was the guy basically to replace Flegler at a cheaper price. It just didn't work out. He had some good games in Queensland Cup, and it's not a shit comp. It's a good comp. We'll see how he goes at the Bulldogs. See how, Zach Hertigan. Don't know much about these guys. Mason Kiro, Matthew Watts, Caden Lars. And then good old Credence Toya off the bench for the Cowboys. Someone might have already pointed that out. In Queensland Cup at the Logan Magpies, there was 2 players you'd give the ball to. It was either Credence Toya or Ezra Mam. And I think Ezra Mam is, forget about what happened off the field, one of the best talents in the competition. Sasefu Finau. Now, funnily enough, this guy played in the same schoolboys team as Lachlan Galvin. And there's, if you go type his name in, there's a couple little highlights of Galvin feeding him the try assist. Big boy, big future. And, when you type his name in, Finau Latu will come up as well. And then the other Latu brothers will also come up. Like it's a bit of a bloody nightmare. Zion Mayuu. He's also not as big as I thought he was, Zion. And he might have dropped a couple of kilos as well. He looks pretty fit.
Well, he's 6 foot and 106 kilos.
Yeah, so he's the same as Lipoi.
Yeah, he's just a kilo heavier, yeah.
He's just got his legs are as big as Gordon Chen Kum Tongs.
Oh, close. He's a big boy.
Now this guy, the last guy, we can't see him there, but Eamon Fitzgibbon. Craig Fitzgibbon's son, really good talent, looks absolutely ripped. The photos coming through of him, can play in the halves. I'm pretty sure he'll be able to do the small lock roll. I'm pretty sure they probably throw him at centre or whatever else. Then we got Jackie Underhill. We all know about Jackie. Raymond Puru. Now, he's one of the schoolboy talents we brought down as well. Queensland Schoolboys representative. I'm pretty sure it was a fullback. We've got to get that worked out. Hamish Wilson had some good games in Flegg last year. Really was up to Flegg. New South Wales Cup was given a couple of had a couple of good games, but also he suffered in a couple of games. Not related to Blake Wilson, I don't think, but just as good looking. Jope Roke, I think he's already represented Fiji as well. Scored 20 tries in Jersey Flegg last year. He's an absolute beast. I think he had a little run in one of the SG ball trials as well. And another massive Fijian winger with a heap of ability and someone we'll keep watching. Mikey Nassar, he was a half from the Roosters. We brought him across sort of mid last year. He played a bit of Ron Massey, played some fullback and wing and stuff like that, just to get him a run, get him going. Justin Matamua, big name from the Tigers, Gas. You know much about Justin?
No, not much.
All right. Sorry about that. But yeah, he's got a bit of a rap on him, and there's a bit, there was a couple of articles about him coming across to us, and he'll play a part in New South Wales Cup, and hopefully we can be the opportunity club for him. Still very young. Bud Smith. Now, he was a recruit from the Clydesdales. He is the son of Jason Smith, and he's played quite a few games in Jersey Flegg and I think in their grand final and semi-final teams. Sort of come through at the same sort of pace as Jed Reardon. Plays in the back row. I think he can sort of play anywhere. He's a bit of a footballer, plays above his weight, tries real hard. Bailey Myers, he won the Jersey Flegg Player of the Year. Really good hooking option. And another kid that's coming through. And Luis Gorosemi represented France in a recent match against Jamaica at the end of year games. And Luis is a guy we're hoping to get on the show. So there you go. Really no nonsense back rower. Probably play lock play wherever they tell him to play. He'll go out there and give it a crack. Loves to run the footy, runs good lines, tackles with everything he's got. I like the way he plays. Typical redhead. Could be Fatty Vorton in another life, you know what I mean? So there you go. There's a bit of an extended team list there, Gas. Obviously,
interesting. They haven't named the captain as well. The
Bulldogs. Who's the captain of our team?
They haven't named the captain. They've named Thomas McKaylee for the Cowboys, but not for the Bulldogs. I mean, it could be someone like a Sam Hughes, maybe. Who knows?
Yeah. I reckon Daniel Saluka Fafita or Sam Hughes. Daniel's a pretty quiet, isn't he? He's a quiet chap. You know Daniel a bit.
Yeah, no, he's all right. He's Sam would probably be more. If I had to pick anyone, it would be probably Sam, based on experience and stature in that team. Then
all right, we've got a heap of comments come through. I'll whack them up on the screen.
Let's go.
Where are we up to? So Timmy. Yeah, we'll have a look at the St. George. Timmy, good shout out. We'll have a look at the Dragons Newcastle game, because obviously we're going to play the Dragons round 1. We're going to play Newcastle in the next trial next week. And obviously Adam O'Brien coming to us, Leo Thompson coming to us. And since they beat us 66-0, they have not beat us. It's funny, someone was trying to have a big carry on, and then they just typed in 66-0, and I said, yeah, and you haven't beat us since, and they haven't said a word. I think, we've scored well over 66 since then. And I've just loved the way we've beaten those Newcastle sides. It's like we haven't tried to win it in the first 5 minutes. we've tortured them over 80 and run away with it every time. I've just typical rugby league from the Bulldogs, and I love it. Before we do that, like and bloody subscribe. Okay, if you're watching this podcast now, we've got 38 viewers. Give it a like, people. If you're not a member, subscribe. It really helps us out and do all the good stuff.
And we'll give a big shout out to the footy heads as well, mate. They've thanks a lot for shirts arrived this week, so you can have a look there. Looks good, feels really good, nice material, really good. Viva Las Belmore. There we go.
Was that an improvement or what?
It's just an instant replay, mate.
There you go. Oh, there you go. We'll talk about the interesting to see Jed playing centre, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Yeah, look, when I was writing out some New South Wales Cup sides, knowing that Renikama's out, knowing that a few players, I don't think Danny Gabriel, I'll have to ask, someone needs to ask Gus on Twitter. Got a feeling he's not at the club. I heard something about he was concentrating on his studies in his career, but really good player that would have, done well in this sort of game. But he might also be injured and still be at the club. So don't take that as an exclusive. I just heard something a couple of months ago and he's not there. G'day, Aki. Welcome to you, mate.
G'day, Aki.
Timmy, who's a stand-in skipper. They're all leaders, mate. Leaders of the pack. Yeah, it is a strong halves pairing, and it's just what our team needs. And that's
a
the
good
thing.
Backline too.
Yeah, they've got a lot of speed in that back line. I think that I would have to say that they've got more speed than us, which will be an issue if our boys here, our big boys, look, that's what it comes down to. Look, people, if we get flogged or whatever, everyone will write their own. People will write their own story, and like every year, they have a big carry on. All I want to see is that forward pack that we've got there in the middle part of the field gets things done. We really need to manage their back three coming out. They've got that speed they've got coming out off their line. We know Jonathan Sewer is going to get us some meters from the back. Tays, we'll see how Tays going. He's really elite footwork, that type of thing. Really energetic. And Cooper Toy's just one of those players which, I don't know, he just has a real crack. Like, he'll never be beaten on effort, this kid. So, obviously, Jed Breeden, same sort of thing, and Sasai, they would have been putting their time in. But this back line of the Cowboys is very experienced and very fast. And if they get a roll on, Purdue and Clifford will have a field day, and we could be in trouble. So what we need to do is these big boys here, Hopboy, Salika Fafita and Hughes, need to win this battle here. If they win that battle, our guys will be able to do their thing and play the Canterbury type of football, and it'll be a competitive game and a game that we can win. But I'd have to say on the experience side of things, this would be a game where, going back to like 2023, where the Canberra Raiders in the trial and the Cowboys are the Bulldogs. And the Cowboys might look really, really good. You know what I mean? It just shows you how the script is flipped a little bit. The Cowboys, obviously, they've got some depth in their top 17 and that sort of thing, but this shows that they've got some depth to come through to their best 17. But there are some players here that are definitely best 17 players in that squad. They've named a far more experienced side than what we have. And I think it's just what our boys need. It's what our team needs. That's what I mean. These trials are based on, you name a side to give him not just a hit out, but to actually get a result out of it, to actually, help as part of the whole plan. It's not just give them a run and see who we're going to pick. They know who they're going to pick for Vegas already. And barring injury, that will determine. I always say there's one spot in the 17 come round one that is up for grabs in a trial, in the first two trials, where someone just forces their way in and says, you've got to pick me. And I feel it's sort of gone that way most years. I think that's what sort of happened, where they've like, we have to pick this guy in round one. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, mate, you're pretty spot on that. It will be still interesting to see how the boys gel together, because the teams have been training together this year as well, as they always do, the first grade team and the New South Wales Cup team. So there's been a lot of combinations played. So even just them playing against our first team has been a good hit out for them. So, but obviously you still don't go in the full contact and everything. So this week will be their first opportunity to really dig in and try to see who can separate themselves from this sort of, backlog of players in this New South Wales Cup team, and who's going to be the next man up for the first team. So again, look, we'll be there, we'll be supporting, we've got our tickets, we're ready, we'll be on the hill. If anyone wants to come and say hello, come and look for the banner. But we're not expecting the game to be something that we have to win. We're expecting, like Michael said, a good effort game, people doing their job and just putting their hand up to say, hey, I want to be considered for whatever team I want to play in. So it's going to be, just to see the jersey roll out for the first time and the new logo and everything. And 2026 is a big year for us. So really exciting stuff. Really exciting.
Beautiful. All right, we've got a question there from Lucas, and thank you for being a member. To everyone who has so far, do you think will there be big minutes for Hughes and Select for Feeder? What's your thoughts, Gas? What are you thinking?
I think they'll be doing well if they both get about 30, 35 minutes each. I think that's plenty for them. So I think we both know what they can do. For them, minutes is just getting some legs going. But for me, it's more about having a look at some of the other guys that are coming through as well. But these two are definitely sort of next man up for the first grade team. So we do know what they are capable of. It'll be good to see what their off-season's done to them, form-wise. I mean, this time last year, Sam Hughes had an ankle injury and was out for, pretty much the first half of the season, effectively. So At least he's had a good off-season under his belt. And even last year, even when he came back, you could see he was still underdone. He wasn't fully ready. But we had to put him in there. So yeah, it'd be good to see them. And Daniel, Saluka Fafita, as we mentioned in the off-season, has had a great record with the first grade team. 11 matches, 10 wins. And the only one that he lost was in that 6-4 game against, or 8-6 game against Penrith, where he got knocked out in the first minute. So he's a good luck charm for us. So maybe that'll work on Saturday as well.
There's another player on our side who's played 10 first grade games and had 8 wins. I'm trying to forget who it is. But they've only played 10 NRL games for the Bulldogs. And the 10 games they've played, we've had 8 victories, which is pretty good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I'll just add a little bit to that. I think they'll try and play them 20 to 25 minutes to start the match and then give them a run of 10 to 15 minutes each. So, yeah, I think it'll be between 35 and 40 minutes, 35 minimum. So I think you're spot on there. Barring if there's any injury concerns, it's like, all right, put him in cotton wool. Out of this forward pack, what you're going to see is players like Saluka Fafita, Samuel Hughes will rotate through an 18th, 19th man, then starting in New South Wales Cup, playing long minutes, trying to get so that they're job ready when it comes to stepping into the NRL side or forcing their way in. And both of these players are going to get contracts in 2027. It's just, will that be with the Bulldogs or another club? They're valuable commodities. If you're buying assets, you invest in these sort of players. Whether and I think they'll get above minimum contracts, if you know what I mean. So that's where I think it'll play. I think they'll both start. I think that they'll obviously Fletcher Baker will come on, get himself 15. And what we might see from Fletcher is play 15 minutes at the end of the first. And he might have to come on after 20. Like, it could be a really hot day. Could be an injury or whatever. They might just say, look, Daniel's had enough after 20 or whatever. Bring Fletcher on. And I think that you'll see potentially, I don't know what they're going to do with Zion. That he can play an edge, right? He can play an edge as well. And the good thing about AJ Jones can play middle. They can move him into the middle at any point and give someone else a go on an edge. And I think they'll try and give AJ plenty of minutes in this match. Really give him an opportunity. You know, they've got Lukey O'Donnell going against them. Opposite sides, they're going to ask him questions. Some big young Jackson Purdue and Jay Clifford will be running at these guys. You know, it's going to be really, I'm so excited to see how they go. And to me, it's not about victory. And I'm not saying we can't win. To me, it's just about how they play, how they handle things, and what they produce on the day. Remember at the start of the season last year, I went and watched the game with Mark against the Dolphins. First 25 minutes, it was a stalemate. And that's all. And for me, that's all it was for me. They competed against. Now, the Broncos took a 25, 26-man squad into that and had a heap of depth, which most of those players that were their backups ended up as part of their team by the end of the season, like players like Mariner and Karapani and players like that, right? But their forward pack was just like putting on two really great forward packs, one after the other. And there was just no that middle stuff just did not stop for the Bulldogs. And whereas we had Sam Hughes and Saluk Fafita and King and all that sort of going at having to go deep into the game to deal with a team that was fresh as, you know, they pulled Payne and Carrigan and that off after 20, you know, after that, they sort of asserted dominance. So the point I'm making is that the trials are used for a real purpose to get your team ready. And that's why we get to round one against the Dragon side that I felt just kept, they showed good signs in a lot of games where they just kept fighting, even though they were well beaten in sort of the flow of the game, but they kept grinding away. And they lost 12 games by less than 6 points, or something like that. So they were ready to beat us in round one last year, but that trial that we had against the Broncos really worked well to prepare our team 2 weeks later to go out there and do the professional job that they did over 80 minutes. And that's exactly what we want to see from people like Saluk Fafita and Sam Hughes and these guys that are really going to be part of our featuring in our, you know, top 18, 19 players every single week on rotation, if that makes sense. So I think Fletcher comes on. Not sure if Sesefo is pretty big. They might bring him on. There's a lot of things they can do. They may even make a late change to the starting lineup as well. But with so many reserves, they probably don't have to. Really looking forward to seeing how Jackie Underhill goes with sort of his second preseason as training with the big boys. And a couple of young players, as I said, Jopo Roke. Very interested in Justin Matamua. And obviously Lewis Grissemi. Can't wait to see him get a crack and rip and tear. But hope that answers your question, Timmy. What else have we got next? Oh, no, that was Lucas, sorry.
Yeah, Shoei's talking about a podcast that he saw with Graham Hughes Serraldo interview and his thoughts on Galvin in 2026. He's put on some size and speed, and he was very, very impressed. So it was a very very good interview, according to Showy. Thanks, mate. It's something we should all go and have a look for.
If Graham Hughes is doing anything, go have a listen to it. Passionate Bulldog, best commentator I ever listened to. How'd you rate Graham Hughes as a commentator, Gas?
He was very good. It was on Channel 10, the old Channel 10 when they used to do it, remember?
Yeah, I used to love it. State Bank replay.
Yeah, but just he was it was very, very excitable, but it was always good having that Bulldog flavour up his sleeve as well. It was good.
I also remember the sideline guy. I used to like listening to him too. He used to play for Balmain, I think, years and years before that. I forget his name now. Anyway, get in there and watch that. Good call out, Showy. Thank you so much, brother. Timmy, Jack Todd is injured, brother. So he's had surgery over the preseason, so he's just not ready yet. So Jack's done a lot of stuff with the rehab group as well. G'day, Dixon. Welcome to you, bro. And thank you for watching on Facebook. Make sure you like and subscribe, Dixon. Timmy says, give Hughes a captaincy. I'll trust you to put that one up, Gas. Kangaroo says, Danny is gone. Thank you. Excited to see Gordon Chen come Tong play. He will be a handy backup 9. Well, he could be a handy starting 9 at one point. But I think people will know what we've got on our arsenal with Bailey Hayward over the next 5 to 10 years. That's all right, Elaine. I did a shout out to you earlier. I hope you are well, and waiting anxiously for them to let us know who that SG Ball team's going to be. Oh, Gus did confirm it on Twitter. There you go. Obviously, people would have seen he was missing from that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard something that he was going to look into his studies and stuff like that. I'm not sure he's playing for another club either. His brother Michael with Mulatalo going down for the season. Michael Gabriel is edging ever closer to his NRL debut. The player that we swapped for Connor Tracy. What are you hearing, Rio injuries?
There was a few questions asked today on Twitter/X to Gus. So one of the questions was, hey, Gus, just seen the team list, interested to know why Finau Latu isn't named. Is he injured or maybe saving him for the second trial? Thanks. Phil Gould responded back, Finau picked up an injury. He's out for a month or so. Nothing major. That was the first comment on that. The second time, someone said, shame to hear about Latu. Any chance he will be fit for Vegas? He would have had that penciled in against his old team. And Gus's response was, he will be available for Vegas. So I guess it's close to a month. So it's touch and go. And the last one, as Michael just alluded to, was Jack Todd injured Gus. Thought we'd see him in action on Saturday. Jack not ready yet, still recovering from surgery. So they're the couple of comments that Gus has thrown out, Showy, just in regards to some of these guys as well. G'day, Bulldog Mike.
G'day, how are you, Mike? How you going, brother? So Timmy's still excited and confident with the players that are playing for the club in the opening trial. They'll do a great job. That's all it's about, Timmy. You got to go out there, do a good job. Get beaten by speed, by genuine experience in a couple of areas and a couple of moments. That's great. What we want to see is just how they go about business. And that's what we want to see. Yep, low-grade hamstring for Woodsy. Second preseason in a row, struggled to keep that going. Aki's going to wear the 2026 away jersey to Cogra. Good on you. Are you going to wear the
come
home
and find
one?
us. Come and find us, guys. Come and find us. We'll be on the hill, boys and girls. Come and find us and say hello.
Look, and we're going to do that, guys. At a few games, we'll try and get some merch together or something small that the Don't Break Defence mob will be at the games. If you go find them, they'll give you something. Could be anything, and it won't be every time, but we'll organise something. Just let you know that now, Gas. I haven't told Gas yet.
Thanks for the heads up.
That's all right. So Gas will be having people come and seeking him out. But what we want to do is just build that community. So, you know, like if you're a stalker and you've got like stay away, but if you're you know, you love the Bulldogs a lot and want to hang around other people who love the Bulldogs or meet genuine fans like yourselves, come and say hello wherever you can. And we might be able to do a few things, have a few catch-ups before games and stuff like that, walk in together and whatever else. I won't be down in Sydney most likely at all this year, but I'll definitely be at the Queensland games this year. So we'll have some Queensland stuff. And I know there's people who'll come from Sydney to Queensland. Be happy to meet up with you guys as well. Hopefully we'll have Jamie Teasdale there as well. He hasn't said hello yet. And hopefully we'll get young Joby to come up to Queensland this year. I know he's going to try and make that happen at some point. JP equals JK. He's a big boy, Elaine. Very big boy. What has Carraz done to himself? How long is he out for? Gus said that he's I've heard 50-50 from other sources of playing in Vegas. To me, 50-50 for Jacob Carraz is he'll play. You know,
especially with the 18-day rest after it.
Yeah, I think he'll play, and then he'll get an 18-day rest, and he'll be right. But look, Jacob, what he does to his body to play is always going to be a fault. You know, he's always going to be fighting injury and pain and whatever else. But that's what he does for our Bulldogs. He's a great player. He's right up there. You know, if they're picking a New South Wales Origin team right now before a game's played, Jacob's in the side. Okay, that's pretty much, he's right there. He's next man up. Okay, no Zach Lomax likely. It's To'o, Brian To'o, and Jacob Kiraz. And imagine him getting a bloody offload away in Origin with the way they compress their defences and shit.
Well, he's already got the combo.
Clear, he'll have a field day with Jacob Kiraz and Jacob Preston out there. I can tell you that much.
It'll be him and Critter on that side as well. It'll be awesome. You're rolling all three of them straight in.
And then Burton and Cleary. Oh,
yep.
Galvin off the bench. Let's go, everyone.
Oh, yeah, you like that? Won't be long before Galvin's playing Origin, mate. Don't worry.
Mitch Woods called into the side. Mitch Woods, he won't have played a game of NRL, but Laurie will call him into the squad to do some opposing sessions. Don't you worry about that. We got Alex Conti. They'll call him in as well. It's all happening you're hearing it here first at All Things Bulldogs. I can tell you that much. Oh, JB, good on you, mate. You're a good husband and you got a good wife. And I'll speak to you tomorrow. Sorry I didn't get back to you today, mate. I've had a full-on Tuesday. Yeah, very inexperienced spine, 100%, but that's what it's about. I think it's very, very good. And look, our spine's inexperienced in first grade. Well, is it? Galvin's played more games than Toby had played prior to the 2025 season. Or 2024 season, I should say. Yeah, Galvin's nearly played 50 games, guys. So we're going to have our milestones come up. I'm going to talk about those milestones. And actually, we need to repeat a milestone before we move on of what's going to happen on May the 22nd in round 12, Gas.
The Bulldogs will be playing their 2000th game on that Friday night at Accor Stadium. So we're 11 games short of 2,000 games, everyone. So we sent out a sort of a milestone alert the other day on All Things Bulldogs. So if you have a look at that, but 2,000 games for the Bulldogs since 1935. So very exciting stuff. It'll be a big occasion. Yes, it will be missing a few Origin players, but it'll still be a massive event. And thankfully, it's a home game for us to all get down there and celebrate the win against Melbourne, which we really don't play Melbourne that much in Sydney. So it'll be very exciting stuff.
All right.
No worries, Timmy.
Bobble, what don't you do a StreamYard? I don't know what that means, brother. Can you elaborate on that, Gas?
Why don't you do a StreamYard? I'm not sure.
This is a StreamYard. We are on StreamYard.
maybe on the game day, maybe he's talking about. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, we'll do well, that's another thing. Gas might do some live streams for us at different times from different places on different days as well.
Yeah.
The Dogfather will be there live. Oh, he goes by JK. There you go. That's Jope wrote. I need to. Elaine knows how to pronounce people's names properly. So I'll have to. I'll have to ask how to pronounce names, a few more names properly, because I think I'm getting them wrong. Justin Matamua was a ball playing 13 at West, highly touted, but ended up in a Ron Massey Cup. Hopefully reach potential with us, has played first grade at around 18, 19 years old and looked very good. Great insight, brother. Well done. Thank you very much. And this is the sort of stuff we want to see. Who won the prizes? What are you doing there, bro?
You're pressing the same one.
We're on the same page so much that I'm turning it on and Gas is trying to turn it on at the same time. We're turning everything on but each other. Hilarious. There you go. The prize is still up for grabs, so we've got until round 1. So we've got until 1 hour before kickoff on Sunday at Vegas at 2:30 p.m. Sydney time.
No, 3:30 Sydney time.
3:30 Sydney. No, but
2:30 for the draw. Yep, that's right.
Yep. That's when an hour before kickoff. You've got until 2:30 on that Sunday to get your entries in. And 3 people will win a Footy Head shirt. And 1 person will win something. So there'll be a draw for everybody as well outside of those 3 people. We've given away some nice books for the Super Chats. Where are the Super Chats, by the way? Where are they? Give us some money.
Come on, guys. You're going to support all these podcasts and things cost money, guys. Help. It's only if it's a little bit by everyone, a little bit, all adds up, guys. All adds up.
Oh, he said
only under $2.
Kangaroo added that he fell out of favour with Benji. Welcome, Zayed. How are you, brother? Doing, everyone? Okay. I'll be there for the round 12 clash with the Storm. That's bloody brilliant, Timmy. The only sad thing about that 2000th match is we'll be missing Burton, Carraz, Preston, Critter,
Max King,
Connor Tracy, Kurt Mann, Bronson Cherry, at least. Leo Thompson's going to declare allegiance to New South Wales, and no, I'm joking. He'll never do that. He's a hard. I'd say Leo Thompson might play in that Maori game. I wonder if he'll play there. He's very proud Maori. That'll be interesting to see if he plays in that game. When's that? Is that next weekend?
No, I think it hasn't been announced. I think the team hasn't been announced, so I think it's still to come, that one.
Oh, I need to find that. Yeah, but look, that's the only downfall is that the game in Sydney, round 12, is when the Origin players are in camp, so they won't be playing.
That was on the 15th next Sunday.
G'day,
15th
Andy.
of February.
And g'day to you in Andy's in Bali, isn't he? Or is it Sri Lanka? I can't remember. Sorry, Andy. I've got a lot of brain fog at the moment with what's happening with me. And thank you, Elaine. Elaine's actually, I'm just going to tell a little story. She's bought these lights to donate as prizes to give to people. That had a couple little glitches on them and stuff, so didn't go ahead with it. But yeah, it's trying to give me stuff to give to you guys, to people for watching and having competitions to help with the channel. So really appreciate that. And it's just, yeah, can't give enough gratitude. So thank you so much, Elaine, and much appreciated. Timmy says Sunday the 15th. When's that?
Next Sunday, mate. The day after we play the Knights.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's when the Maori game is.
The All-Stars game, yeah.
Ah. Thank you, Timmy. Good shout out.
I think it was Colombo, wasn't it? In Sri Lanka.
He's in Sri Lanka. There you go. Thank you, Timmy.
Thanks, Timmy.
He's thanking Elaine as well. So all the love we share.
Mate, let's have a look at the other team, mate. The other game happening this weekend. Let's have a look at the Dragons and the Knights.
Well, let's present that up.
He's backpacking the world. He's in Bali at the moment. Interesting.
I'll bring that up.
He's tuning in. All Things Bulldogs. What's next, mate? What's coming up after Bali?
And thank you for paying the membership to us too, Andy. Really appreciate that, mate. And look, guys, there's a new level that's gone up. It's more money, but it's fine. And members of that, if are members for 6 months, we'll do a little merch pack, a t-shirt and a hat and something like that, as something to give back for those that contribute in that way. And obviously we have all the competitions and stuff, and just to thank everyone and keep the community going, try and give a little bit back as much as I can.
Mate, go to the trial game. Let's have a look at the other trial.
Oh, it's taking me to Wits of pre-season.
That's the one.
Alrighty, so interesting to see this South Sydney, this St George side. Terrell Sloan at fullback. Obviously, he'll be the deputy for what's his name? Gutherson, the king. Tuipulotu starting in the first trial. Although both sides have named a pretty stacked trial. So obviously they'll play the following week. St George will play the Charity Shield. You'd expect them to have a pretty good team for that. And Knights coming last probably want to have two decent hit-outs and give a lot of their experienced players a really good hit-out as well. Now, Shane Flanagan said Christian Tuipulotu was sort of behind the 8 ball, and that David Farley from Penrith, who I think will be a star in the NRL at some point. I'm becoming like that guru guy, the guru. If you name 1,000 stars, eventually one of them falls out of the sky. You know what I mean? One of them becomes a shooting star. You eventually get one right if you name them all. Matthew Feagai, really good player. And Setu 2 come from the Warriors. Flanagan said he and Farley were basically looking like they might be the starting wingers for Vegas, the way they've been going. But we will see. We'll see if that comes through. King Tongia and Cade Reed. Haven't heard much about Cade Reed. But King Tongia, I reckon he's going to be a good 5'8" in the making. Obviously, Fletcher Hunt, really good under the high ball. James Schiller from the Raiders, good junior player, New South Wales origin, under 19s player. Kyle McCarthy's been doing good stuff for a while. Don't know much about DeCourcy, and we know Greg Marchu is like an extra prop. Fletcher Sharp, who they reckon will be on the wing or in the centres for the Knights in their best 17. And Sandon Smith at 7. Because in my opinion, Sandon Smith should be playing 7. Ponga at number 1. Dylan Brown at number 6. And then you got the what's his name with the curly hair? Really good player.
Sorry, mate. We've got a special alert there, mate. We've had some funds come your way, mate. It's fresh from Bali.
Oh, it looks like $200,000.
Yeah, probably about $20, I'm guessing, based on the currency usually.
I don't care if it's $2. Thank you so much, mate. Much appreciated.
Thereabouts, yes.
When I saw $200,000, I'm like, we're off to Vegas. We're going to pick Andy up on the way.
Thanks, Andy.
I wonder if he did that on purpose. What's 200 IDR?
Well, based on that, it's usually around that $20 mark. It's usually 10 for 10, like 100, but it's probably going to be about $17 at the moment. So, yeah.
Indonesian rupees.
It's usually 10 for every sort of 10,000 thereabouts, because they work on big currency over there.
$17. Beautiful. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. We get to 50. We're up to 17. We get to 50. There's another book there waiting. Rugby league coach.
Signed book.
Thank you. Yeah, it is a bit concerning, Kangaroo. We'll get back to the St. George and the Knights team list in a moment, and I'll get Gus's thoughts on the side. But yeah, look, he's a young fella. He's training at full pelt, and he is really young. Like he's coming ahead quickly. Had a couple of setbacks. That's what I mean. Like we've got people who've watched the game for 50 years who know how it works, talking about, and people who played the game at the highest level, talking about how Wood should be starting as our 7. Before he's played a trial, he's played 10 New South Wales Cup games that they probably didn't even watch, to be honest, just to be fair dinkum. But based on hearsay, and look, the hearsay is right. Don't get me wrong. I love this kid, and I can't wait to see him do great stuff for us. Oh, my God. That's 25 people. We're up to $25. We're halfway there. Oh, look, I'll also sing Living on a Prayer. We're halfway there. All right?
Mate, we're going to call it 28, mate, because he tried for $20, and that's what happened. So I'm going to call it 28, mate. I'm going to trust him.
All right, we'll call it $20. $20 it is.
All right, that's it.
There you go. So we're up to $20. Well done. $28.
Thanks, guys.
22 to go.
You can join as well, guys. There's plenty of options there. Some of them, like I said, under $2, and you become a member, and it's only monthly, guys. I'm sure you're spending a lot of other stuff on other apps and other things. You might just spend some dollars here and there. It doesn't cost you much at all, guys. One less half a coffee this month. That's it. So all helps, guys. Some of these costs that Michael's paying, some of them have gone up, and he just absorbs it. He just deals with it. So, just to put these things on for us. And we've gone through the whole off season, guys. Some of the other podcasts, you'll find them starting back up. All of a sudden now they're coming out of the woodwork and they'll start back up. But we've been going all the way through just to keep you guys informed, keep it entertaining, and give you as much insight. And we've done whatever we can, had some live options and everything in that time. So every bit you can do helps us, helps Michael, I guess, keep this operational. So thanks for the support, Lucas and Andy.
Thank you so much, people. Much appreciated. And we keep getting new members every single day, new subscribers, new members. We've also got Patreon out there, and there's as I said, there's a new tier that you can buy if you want to get a merch pack at some point. And the good thing about that merch pack is I'm going to get feedback from you guys about what you think would be good as well, or what you think is cool. So beautiful stuff. Great to see. So Mitch Woods, that's what I mean. There's people in this game who are saying he should be starting and Burton should be at fullback and blah, 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 blah. I know in their little fantasy, $2 more, people, and we're there. I feel bad saying anything after that, but thank you, Elaine.
Thanks,
look, and Elaine, as I said, she's been doing it tough. Been doing it real tough. I'm doing it tough at the moment. She's doing it tougher. But still sharing the love, always giving. Beautiful human. So guys, let's I sort of get a little bit. I sort of say these things, throw money, but then I get a bit, Anyway, I appreciate it. Really helps me. It's bloody brilliant. To finish off there, look, Mitchell Woods, he's just a kid. He's a talented kid. They've taken it slowly with him. He'll make his debut at one point, probably this year. And, it's going to be bloody brilliant. But we've got a player who's going to bring up 50 matches in the NRL in a few weeks. And a player who's getting towards 150, who's picked in Origin as 18th man every year because he's a really great footballer and a great talent. We're doing all right. And I trust their faith in Bailey Hayward. Connor Tracy hasn't missed a beat since he come to the club and given us something we haven't had for a long time. And he'll be better for it as well. And there's kids knocking on the door. There's people we've brought to this club with a lot of talent. They're going to put pressure on these people. And this team is just going to continue to evolve and change over many years. And we're in a very, very good spot. So thank you so much, peeps. Let's get back to... I'm really interested in the forward packs that are going head-to-head. Josh Kerr back from the Dolphins. I felt he was one of their best players at the Dolphins. Every time he played, I was impressed. Back at the Dragons. Harley Finau, don't know much about him. Obviously, a hooker. Now, Timmy said Cade Reed played outside Elias last year. There was also the guy who left and went to Souths, played plenty of games as well, who used to be at the Bulldogs. forgotten his name because I'm having a bit of brain fog, but he played plenty of games. But wonder if Mason Phillips is going to get a crack here. I haven't looked at this full team yet. Toby Couchin, because he's the Phillips brothers are really good talents. And both were at the Bulldogs. So Toby Couchman and Ryan Couchman, really good players, and I think you'll see this year they're going to be. If they don't get, they've had a few injuries though. If they can stay injury free, the Dragons are in a really good spot. Trey Mooney, who's come across from the Canberra Raiders, and look, I won't get too much into it now, but in a paradox universe where Buzz, for some reason, hates Ricky Stewart and just attacks the Raiders, he could have said all the stuff he said about the Bulldogs he could say about the Raiders. They let Fogarty go. They let the halfback who took him to a minor premiership go when they only needed to give him an extra $100,000 or something. They let Trey Mooney, who's been developing for years, is a really good player and prop. They let him go to keep a guy who we all love, Big Papa, but surely not. And then you got the young fullback, Chevy Stewart. I know he ended up having an issue or something off the field last year at the end of the year or something. But I just don't get it. I think in a parallel universe, the Raiders are copping a bit more heat for some stuff. Anyway, Thomas Cant played against us in both games, I think. Real trier. Jacob Halangahu is an absolute exciting talent and one that you need to watch. Jermaine McEwen did a pretty good job in the few games he played for the Knights last year. And obviously Tyson Frizzell, Origin rep, stalwart of the game. And Hamis Saleh. Saleh was a Penrith junior. It's part of those. I think he was in the Burton and Crichton teams. I think he's about the same age as them. And he had that heart problem playing against us. I think it was. Was that against us where he went off and it was like he had a heart issue or something? Yeah. Do you remember that, Gas?
Yeah. Yes.
Tyson Gamble, Matt Croker has been a Knight stalwart for a long time. Matthew Arthur, son of Brad, the other son. And Pasami Solo, was doing good stuff at the Raiders. So they've got that's a pretty good side. Tyler Peckham-Harris, Charles Hidaiki, Hayden Buchanan, Nick Sagranis. There's also another announcement the other day, and a Dragon just left. He was in the same team as Finau Latu, Pacifica Tonga, all these players that won the SG Ball against our Bulldog side, which had Sasai Alatini in it and those type of players. AJ Jones and whatever else, I think, was in that team too. We've got another one of those forwards. Apparently he was unhappy because he was supposed to be elevated to the top 30 as part of his contract. They sort of they asked him to hold off a year or something, and he didn't like it or something like that. I don't know. That was what there was a story about. But he's joined the Bulldogs, so he's got some talent, and he's a bit of a rough and ready type as well. So I think watching a few of his highlights, I was like, this guy. I'm sorry I got the brain fog, but there's stories out there of announcing the signing. Hasn't officially come from the Bulldogs, but I think it was on Code Sports and that sort of stuff. But it must be true then. And then we've got the reserves. So Loco Pacifica Tonga was one of these great players. Joey O'Neill gets his chance. Brodie Jones played plenty of NRL. Cardi Hopwood. Connor Vitano. Now, he was one that we'll link. He's a fullback. Was one we'll link to be signing at one point. Blake Laurie's found himself way down the pecking order. Sasai Latu, Asu Kapoa, all played a lot of games. Peter Holler, Matthew Hunter. So there you go. Like, it's the Dragons are got a lot of bloody players. So their depth's going all right, the Dragons. Their depth's going all right. I think you'll find that they'll play probably 20 minutes, these 5 starters, or at least the forwards. I think they'll all play about 20 minutes each. Maybe they might give Ryan Couchman a bit longer. And then I think you'll see that they'll bring on these young guys and give them a lot more time and give them more of a run. Exciting, though, because we play the Knights the week later, and then we play the Dragons in how many days left, Gas? 25, is it?
25 days left.
There we go.
Big 2-5.
All right, so we've got to do a signed book, guys. A signed book. I'm not going to put you in the draw, Gas.
No, I'm not. I don't want to be in the draw. I just wanted to get them over the finish line, mate.
Well, so let's do it.
Elaine, Lucas, and Andy.
We'll do this live. I just got to find a random draw generator while we talk. So, talk about the St. George and the Newcastle team, brother. While I look this up.
Look, I'm pretty keen to actually hang back after the Bulldogs game, I think, and have a look at a bit of this game, and see how these teams are playing. So it's there's a lot more first grade experience, obviously, compared to the Bulldogs. Even Gus reiterated today that the Bulldogs just wanted one trial, and that was the one against Newcastle. So when they asked him today, so his comment, he said we only wanted one in our old trial, and that will be against Newcastle next weekend. So these teams, like you said, they're teams that are sort of pushing up compared to us, where we're in a different position. So they are playing a lot more depth in their teams and trying to re-establish themselves and get themselves in a position to be, top 8 contenders this year. So it will be, very interesting for them to see how they go against each other this weekend. But again, I've never, ever taken the result of a trial game for anything. It's the effort. It's what you're looking for, the players, the combination, just just want to see, and hopefully injury-free for all teams. It's all about just getting yourself ready and a bit of a warm-up. That's it. You saw it last year and the year before. You just do what you have to do and you go out and get started. But these teams definitely have a lot more players. They've got a lot more on the line. Some of these guys, okay, you've got a new coach there for Newcastle, but Shane Flanagan definitely under the spotlight. So he needs to get his season off to a good start. Otherwise, he'll be looking over his shoulder. You can only sort of promise so much. And if like Michael said, there was a lot of close games last year, but you need to get those over the line, or at least part of those. So, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see sort of these teams play, but definitely the level will be a good level as well. 2 desperate teams out there as well. A lot of players playing for their positions in first grade.
Harrison Graham, who had a real terrible injury at the Dolphins before making his comeback last year, he's a really good player and one that I thought the club might have a look at. But he's gone to the Knights, and he's if he can stay on the park, he's definitely one that has a lot of ability. And yes, it was Phoenix Crossland, Timmy. So thanks for that, mate. That's who I was talking about. Real high energy player, represented the Kiwis for the way he goes about his job.
Curly hair.
Yep, curly hair. There you go. Got a big mop. But guys, look, we're going to spin the wheel to see who wins a signed book. Now, if you win and you don't want the book or anything like that, we can do it. You can we can give it to a random member as well. So I can.
Well, we can give it to if one of the 3 don't take it, we can run another one for the other 2, I guess.
Yep.
It's only fair. Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. If it's not something that you are interested in or would want, you can let us know and we can do another draw as well. But it's a great book. And Lee, I'll be doing some more podcasts with Lee. I'm actually about to upload a video that we recorded before Christmas last year, where he interviewed me on his podcast, which was bloody brilliant. All right. Do you want to do this? Let's do the draw.
Let's go.
All right. We'll present her up. Oh, perfect. Make sure you... Can we see it up there? Good. There we go. We've got Elaine, Lucas, and Andy. Now, Andy, I might have to wait till you get back. I don't know how much it'll cost to send overseas, buddy, but
He's got Mexico, Ireland. He's got and Egypt next, mate. We'll definitely hold on to that one for you, mate.
We'll hold on to it, buddy. Well, if you go for a trip overseas, there, bro.
Let's go.
What do I do?
Spin.
Click to spin or press. Oh, there we go. We're spinning. Lucas. Lucas.
Well done.
Well done, brother. You're a winner. You've won a signed book. It's over there. I'll get it later. You won a signed book.
Did you hear what Andy just did from Bali? Sorry, Andy.
There you go. Thanks heaps, people. Well done, Lucas. You've won a signed copy. Get in contact with me. If you're on Facebook, send me a message. Caveman, it's written by the rugby league coach. So Lee Addison runs his own rugby league coaching programs. He teaches coaches how to coach. He does podcasts all the time. He was the assistant coach to Matty Elliott with the Penrith Panthers. Gus actually sacked him when he come back to the Panthers. So he's coached the Polish team. I think his teams are undefeated in international matches that he's coached. Really good coach. So Lucas, if you're on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is, just add me. It's Michael Jeffrey. I'm on All Things Bulldogs Podcast. Just find me, send a message, and and I'll be able to get your address and stuff and send it to you.
Thanks, Elaine. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Lucas. Well done, guys.
Thank you so much, Elaine. Much appreciated. And look, people who contribute a lot, I always, will find you at some point. Elaine says, congratulations. All right, you press it, Gas. You press it. And he says, I'll be back on the Gold Coast in Brisbane for a bit anyways. I work at Suncorp and Seabar Stadium. I am the guy who sets up the digital LED displays and the advertising you see at the NRL games. That is bloody brilliant to know, Andy.
Awesome.
All right, you need to get in contact with me. Yeah, so I'll be at Seabus. I love going there. And I'll be at the Suncorp games as well. So I will see you there, buddy.
Andy, do they let you stay for the game, mate, or you have to leave? You have to keep an eye, make sure everything's working properly in case there's any glitches during the game. Part of the perks, I guess.
Well, it's for the advertisers, isn't it? So they need to be working.
That's it.
Much
pretty tough, those things.
Yep.
Get hit by the ball a few times.
So in a moment, we're going to talk about the players you really need to watch in our Bulldogs team. Absolutely. Well, hopefully you can bring us down to watch it where you watch from. Only joking. But definitely get in touch. So let's get this ready to rumble. Well done to Lucas. Really happy that we get to do that. And the book just talks about coaching. It does a really good case study on Stephen Carney when he was coach of the Warriors and Para and stuff. Pretty critical of him too, I think. So just to give you another angle, another lens to look at the game through, which is great, which is really good. But let's get this up. Oh, my God. Sorry, guys. I'm having a bit of a moment.
Did anyone see the stat the other day while Mike was getting that ready? The Bulldogs, when they score 27 points in a game, since 1935, have done that 8 times, and they've won on every occasion. Interesting stat. That's our magic number, 27.
G'day, Henny Benny. Welcome to you. I think Turpin and O'Sullivan will be both named in our Vegas squad. I think they will be. There's a potential. I think you'll see Jamin Kurt Mann and either O'Sullivan or Turpin in the 17. I still think that's a possibility while we're running that dual lock. Don't know, Jimmy, but we'll find out at a later point. So let's look, the players that we want to talk about. You probably already know, but this young guy, Joseph Taupa, really promising half that I spoke about. He's playing up a grade this year. He's still Jersey flag eligible. I think he could float in between a little bit, but I reckon they're going to give him the New South Wales Cup reins to start with. And we might see Conti start in flag, but we'll see. With Mitch Wood starting at 7 in New South Wales Cup come round 1 or 2, but that'll sort of be they'll be the ones that'll be fighting for that spot to get their opportunity to have a crack at NRL at some point. He's always played, Joseph Taupa has always played above his age group, more to the point. I actually got a bit of help getting some information and a bit of background on some of these guys to really watch as well. And he's always been under the radar. And that's what I was sort of saying. He's just this player who no one's been talking about. And he's there. He's amongst it. He's playing a trial on KO. Like this kid's now on KO playing a trial against the Cowboys, against the biggest, most passionate supporter base in Sydney. Right? The club that sold 21,000 jerseys last year alone, a club record. Thanks for that, Gas. I got that.
No worries, mate.
Straight from the chairman. I'm not the chairman, the CEO of the
CEO.
Yep. And look, they want to just keep selling more and more and more, and then they're going to give more people opportunities, right? The next guy I'm going to talk about, Sasai Alatini. Obviously, I told you I already did is that not coming up?
No, it's not coming up, mate.
What's happening there?
There you go, mate.
I had the different one up. That's all.
The old switcheroo.
So Sasai Alatini plays edge. Plays in the back row, big play centre as well. Played a little bit in Ron Massey was one of our standout players in that SG ball team that had a really great season and did get their pants pulled down by the Dragons, but Sasai scored a really good try in that game, I'm pretty sure, and was one of the real men amongst the boys on that day. He's been earmarked from a really young age that he's going to be a devastating force, and he's finally getting his chance, and this is what it's all about. Well, what Gus talks about, and when I talk about Gould as an analyst and Gould as a head of football and a coach and all that sort of stuff, for him, it's about trust in a few key areas. That's genuine speed, genuine effort, and players can have all that. Genuine talent, you can have all that. But if you can't handle pressure, you can't be an NRL player. And that's our system is all about putting people under a lot of pressure and doing that from a really young age, which is why you see so many kids in a rush to set standards as the kids. And this kid, Sasai Alatini, gets his opportunity to do that on the weekend. He has to fill a role at centre. He'd probably prefer to be lining up where Logan Spinks and AJ Jones, but they've had that sort of a bit more conditioning than Sasai, as far as a bit more exposure to New South Wales Cup and that sort of thing. But he gets his opportunity out wide in the centres to do his thing. Look, and Macca's said to me that Sasai reminds him a bit of Jeremiah Nanai a bit. And that's a big rap. And look, the reason Macca, who is hilarious on Twitter, and that's his lane out there, but his passion and dedication towards the youngsters has been really great. And we just have lots of chats about the juniors coming through, and we literally get devastated when they leave the club or if things don't go right for them, Now, Logan Spinks, I think a lot of people know Logan or are getting to know Logan. As I said, come through our greater Northern Tigers pathway. He's been earmarked. He's an Australian schoolboy. And that's another thing that I did one of those articles on. We're getting kids, Australian schoolboys are starting to dominate our junior teams. When I say I don't mean the whole team's Australian schoolboys, but we're seeing one in every team sort of thing. And they just lift standards and raise the standards of our small pool of players. A lot of kids who made New South Wales and that sort of thing in combined high school sides. But Logan Spinks's season in New South Wales Cup last year as a try-scoring threat, as a defensive workhorse, he is someone that you're going to continue to hear about, and you'll know him well, very, very well. The fan base will be demanding this kid gets elevated to NRL at some point. But look who he's got in front of him. Jacob Preston, Viliami Kikau, and a bunch of other good players that could fill a spot. Now, Macca pointed out one called Raymond Puru. So, as I said before, he's the Queensland under-19s fullback. Great pedigree. Some good highlights of him scoring some really good tries as well. So, we've got David Bryanton as well. Raymond's sort of ahead of him, like older. I think a year older potentially, or 2 years older. And he's going to be someone that we really appreciate seeing. And he'll come on, and I think he'll play fullback and replace Tay Cochrane. Or he might even come on the wing, just depends what the plan is on the day. And Kangaroo Killer talks about Matamua. It's been quite a while. Kangaroo had a lot of good things to say. He's a ball-playing lock. He's played some first grade, didn't look out of place. And obviously looking for an opportunity to get himself in front of the Bulldogs coaches and the fan base and one that we can get behind. I would also suggest a player called Sesefu Finau. As I said, played with Lachlan Galvin in that schoolboy side, plays on an edge. Big boy, goes really hard. And my last big pick is I really like Lewis Grissemi. Now, he's named number 26 there. I think he's on a New South Wales Cup contract this year, something like that. He's working another job. Obviously, a lot of these young fellas they're going to work like all of us, and they're also going and training full time to keep their dreams alive. So love the way he played last year, and he's one to definitely keep an eye on and get to know. Obviously, Bailey Myers, Gus gave him a shout out. Jersey Flegg, player of the year last year, in the hooker position, and he's going to be an important player for us. An important player coming through. And as I said, we all know about Jackie Underhill. Eamon Fitzgibbon's got a lot of raps coming through. You'll get to know him pretty well. But Joe Rauch, I think you'll find he will get a go in first grade. If it's not this year, it'll be next year at some point. Just through what he's able to do as a finisher. Really exciting young player. So get behind these guys, get to know who they are. I know I already did a pretty good big rundown to start, but these are the ones that you'll get to know these guys pretty well. If you can afford Bar TV, definitely get on there and pay that and get and watch those juniors play. Or if you know someone who's got it, they might lend you their sign in and stuff. Yeah, however it goes. So there you go. Anything to add to
Peter's
that?
asking that. Peter's, hi guys, love the show. Do you think O'Sullivan will play 5 first grade games this year?
I think he will, yeah. I think he'll play 5 or 6. Actually, let's have a little look. Do you want to do a little side diversion and have a look at Sean O'Sullivan?
Yeah, let's go, mate.
What do you reckon? Let's go to the team. And they haven't updated everyone, but they've got nearly every player in the New Jersey now. There's a couple that haven't. Well, this afternoon it hadn't. It might have by now. Yeah, they're all updated. Fantastic. So they're finishing that off today, obviously. And where is he? Sean O'Sullivan. So we're seeing him nice and clearly. Beautiful. 180 centimetres, so he's about 5'11", 86 kilos. He's played for the Roosters, the Broncos, the Warriors, the Panthers, and the Dolphins. And have been around in the NRL since 2018.
He's only played 60 games, though.
Yeah, so look, he's a depth player, a backup player. But what I want to do is bring you to the season of 2022. He played 11 matches in his only season for the Panthers. 8 wins, 3 losses. And when you go through those games, he played in games where there was no, where there was like Cleary and that were missing, obviously. And we can sit there and go, yeah, but the rest of the team was so great, and they were. But what it tells you is in that system, in that Penrith system, where people know their roles and he could just come in and do his role, he excelled and he had his best statistics. He's a kick for 354 metres a game that he played, kick fry, 100%. He kicked 6 goals while he was there, forced 5 dropouts, 11 try assists, 4 offloads, tackled at 93%, which is his best. Or I think he played 1 game for the Roosters or something and tackled at 96, but 93% as a halfback in 11 matches is pretty bloody good. Only missed 18 tackles. He had Viliami Kikau in his team. He had Stephen Crichton in his team. He ran the ball.
In those 3 games that he lost, he actually played with Cleary. One of them, he partnered him in the halves for a loss against Parramatta.
Yep.
And in the other one, he actually
lost or something.
No, it was 34-10 actually.
Oh,
and in the other one, he actually partnered Jamin Salmon in the halves. He played number 7. Salmon played 6.
It's all about connection, guys. So in our team now, you got players that you got Salmon, O'Sullivan, you got the coach, you got Kickow who was there in 2022. You got Crichton who was there in 2022. Burton who was there in Burton came to us in 22, didn't he? Or did he come in 23?
23.
Burton in 23.
After he won the first grand final.
Yep.
Then he came. Yeah.
So no, I think surely not. I'm bloody double. This brain fog's no good. The point is, so Sullivan and
Kickout came in 2023 to the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Burton came in 22. Did Burton get to play under Trent Barrett? No, he didn't.
He was signed, but he didn't start till the year after. If you remember, he played 1 more year.
Oh, that's
so
right.
He started in 22. Yeah. Started in 22 with us. Yeah.
He started in 22.
Yeah. 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 He won the grand final 21, then came in 22.
That's right. And they started with Averillo in round 1 and 2, where we should have won both games. Then they went to Brandon Wakeham with him. Yeah.
Yeah, he started in number 6 straight away with Averillo. Yeah, correct.
And people are just like, yeah, put him to centre. Put him into centre. Interesting. The kicking meters for him have gone down each year. But he kicked at 88% in his goals last year. While we're here, we'll just have a little look. People look at this and go, oh, he only got 4 try assists. Well, he ran a lot more last year, didn't he?
Yep.
Tackling at 85, 86%. Run meters 122. So there you go. Birdo run the ball. And we were a lot better for it. But look, yeah, lots to dissect. Hopefully he can go injury-free for a long period this year. Will help us a lot. And getting other people to kick and do other things through the game definitely helps. Yeah, he did. He did, Timmy. Yeah, I knew I was right, Gas. I knew I was right about that.
Yeah, he played 1 year because I think he won 1 grand final, came and then Kickout won 2 and came. They all were winning them and then coming along. So
yeah, then Critter came after 3 wins.
And then Salmon won 1 as well and came over, but that was in between. Yeah.
Yes, Salmon missed out on the on one of the grand final. I think the 2023 grand final he didn't play.
Hmm.
All right, great stuff, guys. Let's get into the next part. We're going to talk about our forward pack. Or is there anything other things we need to cover off first?
No, mate, you're good to go.
And we don't have to finish this in 2 hours, by the way.
No worries, mate.
Anymore. Yeah, Pete Weber, he just sent me some stuff about what Gus has sent through. Thank you, Pete. We did chat about that early tonight. But guys, look, tell me in the chats if you're still listening in intently. Tell me, do you have faith in our forward pack? Truly have faith in it? Do you think we are still too small? And it's all right to say that. Do you think that we need to move towards bigger forwards? Do you think we need to go and buy a Tino or a Huss or someone, or hopefully develop someone like that very quickly? Do you think we're not strong enough in the forward pack to do it without the likes of a Matt Burton with his kick, or the ability to, can we not have the field position and still dominate sides? Can we set the tone with this pack? You tell me what you think. And if you can control you control the chat there, Gas. So I was just looking at a couple of messages that I missed.
So Timmy's 100% confident that we have and has the faith that our current forward pack can do the job.
Here we go. We've got Drewbo. Yep.
Welcome, Drew. Drew saying Leo needs to stay injury-free.
Yep.
And Andy's saying Max King at the end of last year definitely needed some help.
Very good points. We'll wait for a few more to come through as well. I will take is to this game here. I'll take you to the stats. Max King, who averaged 45 or 48 minutes a game for us. This game we got defeated by the Roosters is probably the worst we looked in a game as far as the way we were dominated. Scored the first try, I think, or two. Max King had 14 post-contact meters and 44 run meters from 7 runs. His play the ball speed was much slower than it had been a long time. 1 offload. 28 tackles, no misses. Played 20 minutes and then came on for 10 later. Max King was crook as a dog that day. Jamin Salmon was crook as a dog and injured. And there was a bunch of others. There was about 8 players that were sick. And that was the game. Remember, Gas, when he came off when Serrato said, well, what did he say after the game? He said, basically, I'll be making the calls on whether people are injured or sick or whatever. He didn't use those words, but he sort of took ownership that I let these guys tell me they were right to play, and they weren't. Basically saying you guys need to be man enough to rule yourself out for the benefit of the club, to put the club first. But it could also relate to a couple of other things as well. No, what did he say? Some players sat out some training drills and stuff.
Yep.
So, and he allowed them to miss some training and whatever else because they were suffering and whatever else. And he didn't make the call to pull those players out.
He said he wouldn't do that. He said he wouldn't do that again next time.
Yep. So
he'll make the hard calls.
He'll make the hard calls. He'll run out there with some players that are, from reserve grade and stuff like that. They'll get their debuts and whatever else. But yeah, a lot of people had a big whinge about that game. And look, I watched it and I was just like, we just got absolutely hammered. The fact that Nafahu White could run it, Lachlan Gowan 10 metres out and carry him over the line without anyone else really doing enough, just said it all. But there was genuine excuses in that match. The point I'm making is there's a lot of people started to say, oh, Max dropped right off too. But Max was suffering mold inhalation, which
is a big problem, yeah.
It's debilitating.
Yep.
It's massively debilitating, and the club didn't realise. And when they found out, they moved him house. But it's a bit hard to come to your workplace and go, and make that up as an excuse too. Like they diagnosed, they asked some question, what's wrong? They did some checks. They identified the problem. They fixed the problem, and Max started to come better as the season wore on. But you are right there, Lucas. Well, it's not Lucas. Who said that? It was Andy. He struggled to have those players ready to go that could take those extra minutes. Now, if we go to Drubo's comment, Leo needs to stay injury-free. Look, Leo will be great for our depth, and this is what I want to talk about. Having him there, and then you've got players like DSF and Sam Hughes, who we've used extensively and prepared and timed to the minute for this year. All right? To be fighting for their careers, fighting for their place as Bulldogs. And we get to see that this week against the Cowboys. They're not small. They're big. I talked about another legend, Steve Folkes. Was he big? Kicked for touch in the 84-85 grand final from the second row. Come in as a halfback. No, many players didn't want to run twice at Steve Folkes. Many players didn't want to run at David Gillespie. Cement wasn't huge though, was he? You go stand Cement Gillespie next to David Saluka Fafita or Sam Hughes. Go stand him next to Stephen Crichton. Who's bigger? Crichton's a monster compared to these blokes. And there were big blokes running around. Maybe there wasn't as many powerful blokes. You got to have the time with the time. I'm not really, but I'm saying it's the fight in the dog. This team, as I said, they're developing Lipoi Hopoi over the last 3 years to come into the top 30 this year at 106 kilos and 6 foot. He's the same weight he's a little bit lighter than Leo Thompson and a little bit shorter. But Leo's a genuine enforcer. 1-2 punch with Max and Leo. You got good things happening. And then you got these other two big bastards who want to break that door down and partner with either of them. And they're going to build them up. Our depth has never been better in our forward pack since, I reckon, 2010, 2011. Now, we didn't make the finals those years, but we're building a pack. Do you understand? And by the time we got to 2012, we had one of the best bloody packs going around. And I think, are we at 2012 yet? I don't know. Are we at that level yet? I don't know. Probably lacking, Benny Barber that was like his 4th season of preparation for that Dally M year, right? Who have we got in our team that's that X Factor player? Well, they're saying we got no one. But I can tell you now, Burton's X Factor, the way he runs. I'm telling you now, Stephen Crichton is fucking X Factor. You all saw it against the Raiders. And they're working hard on his body to get him right. So he can do that more often.
And I think Galvin's becoming one too, eventually.
Galvin's X Factor.
Mm-hmm.
Mitch Woods is X Factor. But
yep.
in his current grade, we don't know if it's going to transition into NRL. Connor Tracy gets better and better. There's X Factor there. And you get the right things happening at the right time, God help them. Our back row is elite. It is elite. Now, the one thing we miss is that 80-minute lock that can take pressure off the halves and play as a middle or as a ball player over long minutes at a really high tempo. We use two players to achieve that. And both of them are phenomenal, the way that they communicate in the team and the things they do. Kurt Mann's, 86 kilos, 87 kilos, 6'1" or 2. He's not big. Jamin Salmon, what's he? 6 foot, 96 kilos or something. But I'm telling you, Jack Todd and Logan Spinks and all these sort of players coming through, they just got to be able to go for minutes. We're developing that player. Finau Latu, effort players, long minute players, powerhouse players. They're coming through. They're coming through the Bulldogs. And there'll be games where people, they'll look at our team again and go, oh, who's Lip Boy? Who's this player? And all of a sudden, well, I hope I'm right. If I'm wrong, oh, well. I've got faith in them. I think they're big enough. I think that's just such a fucking cop-out. Yeah, we were a middle short all season. We probably were. But he doesn't mean we were middle short in our depth. He meant we were a long minute playing experience sort of middle short. Well, we don't have that. There's definitely don't have that excuse this year. And the way they've been developing these youngsters to come through, they will force their way in. And that is, you don't let a player like Josh Curran leave your club, even if he's on $500,000, if you don't have the talent to replace him, is all I'm going to say there. He is a genuine fringe representative sort of player. And you just got to watch those Indigenous matches to see the most desperate, hardworking footballer on the field in every time he plays for Indigenous is him. I haven't seen anyone represent that jersey as well in the last 2 years as Josh Curran. I don't think I'll get too many arguments on that. Give me some of the updates of what people have been saying, Gas.
So, Andy was saying we ran out of steam towards the back end of last year. So I think there was a lot of varying factors to that as well. I think we might have run out of steam from what it looks like on paper and everything, but I think the effort they put up against Melbourne in Melbourne was one of the highest rating sort of performances by any team in NRL in 2025 based on effort. As registered by the player trackers that are installed on all the players during the game. It was massive. It was just a few things went against us in that game, and we were that close. I mean, to having that result go our way. The whole season could have been different. We win that game. Who knows? But yes,
we win that game, and the whole narrative changes. They go, oh, they've improved. Serrato time that they've gone and done a job in Melbourne in a semi-final and won away from home. The Bulldogs are back. It just took one game. It's funnily enough, the player they talked up all year as the one that they didn't have his back until Galvin came, who did something great in that game, but they seemed to forget the fact that he kicked that ball out in the full after we just turned momentum our way through the efforts of Kikau and Burton, who took runs that were absolutely brilliant in the lead up in that set. And they were going to catch the ball on their 10-meter line. We're going to pin them down there. And then we're going to put the game away. But instead, a ball went out in the fucking full. And look, I don't blame that, but it just was such a, you know what I'm saying? It was just so typical, and they didn't even allude to that play in the game of how much of a turning point. Because what happened after that? A fresh Wishart and a fresh and fired up your Tikamanu. You know, conjure up a try. They couldn't get around us. They had to conjure something up, and an offload near the line against desperate defence, and got a try. And then they get that intercept at the end. Like, again, no wonder Melbourne couldn't win the comp and got run down by the Broncos with what we put them through.
Mm.
So, yeah, we can say we dropped off. And I said the year before, the last two matches, they rested players and rested a couple of players, or there was a couple of injured players that needed a rest before the semi against Manly. And, yeah, we got a couple of blowouts, but it wasn't because we had diminished. Yeah, it was a big season, but, yeah, I don't think anyone thought Kurt Mann and Max King were playing Origin for 3 matches in 2025. I don't think that was a prediction by any person in the world. And Burton not being allowed to play during the year and being picked a couple of times. Carraz, another one. Carraz not playing for the first 6 or 7 rounds. Losing your centre every single week after 5 minutes for the last 3 games we played, leading to that last final, and then having Burton do his shoulder on the 2 days before the semi against Penrith. A lot went wrong in areas that you don't want it to go wrong. So that's just my thought. I'm not trying to polish a turd. I'm just giving you reasons as to why. Yeah, history will say we fell off. Maybe it was, maybe I'm sure the coaches are looking towards how do we be even better prepared this year for that time of year. And they've got plan A, B, C, D, E, and F all the way along. But I do believe that they'll definitely be looking for lessons from it. But I do also believe they'll look at a lot of stuff and go, could we have done better there? I think we did the right thing with a lot of that stuff. There won't be too much to change is what I'm thinking. But they are always going to look to improve themselves because that's just the nature of the beast. That's the nature of people, of winners and leaders. They never stop learning. They always want to be better, and they always look for ways. You go, Gas.
I think we're going to see a Kicks play a smarter game this year. Kicks is dangerous when he holds the ball and runs.
Look, I'll give a little bit of this, Gas, and I think you've talked to this a fair bit. We both have. Kicks is there to make the tackles. Occasionally he will do something out of desperation and fatigue that can put his fellas outside him under a bit of pressure. But most of the time he's reducing the amount of space of the opposition on that edge and making them not want to run there. But sometimes, as I said, him and Jacob, their job as second rowers, as you know, people play. If they see the middles struggling a bit, they have to come in and tidy things up. They have to get in and get out. And it takes energy, man. And he's 116 kilos and what, 5'6" or something, 6'6". Like, he's huge. He's an absolute monster. And because I get what you mean. It's like when he runs full pelt at a fullback. Sometimes it's like, oh, he's going to get stepped by a Reece Walsh or he's going to get stepped by someone and it's going to open up a hole. And when he ball plays and that, sometimes he's thinking pass and ball play. But there's also sometimes there's self-preservation where it's like, if I have, we're gonna do this move. They might know the move. He might be struggling a bit, and he's got to go a certain way. It's a hard call. I do see it, but it's just funny because I listen to the Rennie Matures and that, and they say, "Oh, the Bulldogs don't use their edges enough." I'm like, well, Preston was the number one try scorer, and Kikau was way up there in assists and everything like that. So, losing the Fox hurt us a lot, just in the threat of getting behind the line, which meant that it made it tougher for everyone because, they had to work harder to get Montoya on the outside, but they also got better field position because of Montoya. So it's different game, different way of crafting your attack, both with a lot of positives and a lot of good to do. And look, they say Montoya's slow. I'd say he can't turn and chase as quick as the Fox or run as quick, but he's not slow. He's fucking determined winger who can finish. And I really love Marcello Montoya, or May. What do they call him? Mace or Mark. Lots of things to talk about there. But I love Kikau. But I think over the next couple of years, we may see that transition start to happen. Maybe Kikau, comes on, has a couple of bench games or whatever. It'll all be determined by Big Bill himself, won't it? He'll determine what's happened.
Timmy's saying he knows what we've got coming through. We've got Josh Jackson coaching the flag, and we know what sort of player Jacko was. So, yeah.
And we now got
another sort of Steve Folkes type of player.
We've now got Mickey Potter down there as well, looking at the academy players, and it's all about trying to make sure that the youngsters that they've got coming through aren't just going to dominate juniors and then struggle at the back end when they get in. It's about identifying early who's got the heart, who's got the soul, who's got the stamina when the pressure comes on. So they want to get a bit more of that from experienced players like Mick Potter, experienced coaches. We've got Jason Taylor in the New South Wales Cup, which I just think that he'll understand the Serrado system really well. Obviously, Potter will have a big understanding of it and help the likes of O'Mealy and Turner to get that system all the way, sort of just feeding into each system, or the one system, I should say, and being able to play to that in preparation for these guys to play NRL if they make the cut. If that makes sense. And then you've got, Adam O'Brien, who's a very successful assistant coach and being a head coach, just coming out of head coaching a team, which he did get him to the finals. Whether he was good enough to take him to the next level. If you've got a head coach as your assistant coach that was at a team playing finals footy for 4 out of 6 years, they're not too bad, they're not shit. You know what I'm saying? So you'd have to say, well, Jason Taylor's probably got one of the best minds. Adam O'Brien would definitely be a huge asset to any coach in the NRL, in my opinion. Any thoughts on that, Gas? Oh, you turn your microphone off, mate.
You hear me now, mate?
Yeah, you turned your microphone off accidentally.
No, I had to charge it. We don't normally go this long.
Oh, you had to charge. Oh, sorry, buddy.
Making those funny sounds at me. Look, definitely. The depth we've got in the coaching and the experience now is going to give us a lot of different levels of understanding across each of those grades. And they've all had that exposure to first grade. Even Jason Taylor's been a first grade coach. They've all had that different exposure.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great depth, and all of this contributes to what Seraldo's trying to do as well. It all feeds back into first grade. You saw it the other day when we showed the live training. All those coaches are walking around there. Everyone's watching something, looking at something, and the coaches have their own meetings. They sit together and they go through all the plans, all the understandings, all the trials and errors, and what's been happening, and they basically will keep throwing ideas up. So it's not just Seraldo and Gus or whoever and Adam O'Brien now coming up. It's basically a whole team effort for everyone to get that together, to get that understanding, and the coaches are drawing on that information to make their decisions and where to focus. Because you've got, if you saw the training out there, there's basically 50 players on the field or more sometimes. So it's hard to focus on every single person every single time and try to say who's had a good session, who's done something well, or not so well, or whatever it might be. This is where the collaboration of all these coaches helps get all that insight together, so they can see who's at the right level and who's not, and who needs to get some assistance to keep pushing up. So it definitely helps having that level of experience on the coaching staff as well. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, mate. It opens up a new bloody thing. Maxi King, another reason why our pack is bloody awesome. There's not too many players in their 9th season of NRL who achieve their best stats. I think it's almost unheard of. To run 133 meters per game. At one point, it was about 145, 150 a game. His tackles, 754 tackles, only 29 missed at nearly 97%. Running over 3 kilometers for the team. Suffering what he suffered, which really set him back. And probably set us back a little bit too. To make 32 tackle breaks in the season, which is a career best. To score 2 tries in a season. He'd only scored 2 tries in his previous 8 seasons. He got 2 last year, which is bloody brilliant. Goes to Origin. Maxi's a winner. Maxi's a bloody winner, mate. And I'm telling you, I don't know if you'll find a player in their 9th season who's got their career best stats in the forward pack. I really don't know if you'll. Where's my cool and all that? Bloody hell. That's definitely a bloody stat to look at, surely.
We seem to be resurrecting these players. I mean, Connor Tracy is in a similar position where, and at the moment we've got Cade Dykes as well, who's come from a similar sort of trajectory to what Connor Tracy has, and we seem to keep resurrecting these players that were on death row, basically, almost not, their careers being curtailed, and we find a way, we see something in them, and we're bringing them back. Even for me, Connor Tracy, I mean, I know he's not a forward like you're suggesting, but even that was an amazing season that he had up until he got injured, and then he sort of started to come out of it towards the end there. But for me, I don't understand why people keep trying to suggest everyone to be our fullback except for Connor Tracy. Burden, Critter, the whole lot. Okay, I understand if you had a player that wasn't performing. He's not Hayes Perham. This is Connor Tracy. He had an outstanding season. And what he did contributed to us having the result we did. It shows by his points on his daily M alone. Forget about everything else that we were seeing. Being there watching all the games, you could see the effort.
And what do they say about defense and fullbacks? Who had the best defence for the season. We did.
Yes.
We did. So he must have been doing something pretty good regarding our defence.
Yep.
So you'd think that Critter has they like all credit goes to Critter, and that's what the Fox was saying in an interview. Like the Critter come and taught them the system, and that's why they improve so much by having a player actually live and breathe it rather than just having it come from the coach.
Mm-hmm.
And once they understand the system, they're hard to break down. And it's not just in defence. It's more about in how they go about everything on the field and what they do. But Connor Tracy, 200 metres per game last year.
Yep.
And did 181 the year before without a preseason and coming in late in the year. Really good player. Really good player is Connor Tracy.
Yeah.
And he's a winner too. You know, he's got a winning strike rate as a player. And a lot of times he came into a weakened team as a replacement.
But you can see the skill level he's got, because when he started his career, he was in the halves. You can see that skill level. I mean, there was a few cutout passes and a few things that he did during the season that showed you he's got that level where he's got a passing game. He's got that ability to do something. So, yeah, definitely for me, Connor Tracy was probably the most underrated player for the Bulldogs in the past 2 seasons. Like, I think what he does, it's so important to have that solid fullback all the time in the back there. And you see, as soon as he gets the ball, he's just eating up the meters. He just charges full steam ahead. You know, it's not quite Carmichael Hunt running in there, but he's basically picking the right place to run and get those meters as fast as he can. It's very refreshing to see. You know, some fullbacks like to dilly around and stuff. He just eats up the meters as fast as he can, and then the set just starts off on the back of it straight away. You know, we've alluded to it. You saw the defence he pulled off in that Penrith game at Combank. That was probably for me, you know, one or two of the best, you know, one-on-one stops of the year on the line. It's just, you know, one of them for me was right below where we were sitting, and it was just amazing. I thought he scored, and then all of a sudden it was like a brick wall just popped up, and he just stopped him, and that was the biggest roar of the night. It was unbelievable. It was special. So, yeah, and I think he's going to get better for it again. They're all going to get better. Having that good sort of 6 or 7, you know, with Birdo and Galvin together now combining, that spine is going to become a spine to be reckoned with. Where we had too many question marks over it.
Oh, you've gone out a bit there, buddy. I think your headphones are gone. Must be to do with the charging. You can type on the thing, bud. Are you back? Yeah, guys. Because we're going a bit longer. Gas is oh, I can hear you now. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, well, we haven't got too much long to go, but I've got some good news to celebrate in a moment. They've just named the academy sides. So really good news for Elaine with her beautiful boy CJ Uday named in the SG Ball squad for this season. So he's made the cut. Now, he's the last player named, but it's done in alphabetical order. So it's no sign of whether he, you know, and some of these kids will be in the squad and they won't make the 17 for a while. And CJ's coming from Harold Matt, so he's in the younger brigade. You know, that's really good news. I'll actually, so just to give you the SG Ball squad, just to give you some names, Matthew Barakat, another one we've done a feature on in All Things Bulldogs, David Bryanton, the Australian Schoolboys fullback from last year. Jai Callahan, really good player. Young Jack Ennis. Jack would be Mick Ennis's son, wouldn't he?
I think so, yes.
I think. You've got Paul Johnson, really good player. Him and CJ have played a lot together. Kaywin Patterson, who they brought across from the Warriors, Harold Matt's team that won the comp. He's a really good hooker coming through. Joe Roke, the guy I've been talking about on the wing. I think he's JK is his nickname. Young Braith Sloan, who pretty sure has got a 3-year deal that might even go into development or into top 30. I'm not sure. And obviously CJ Uday, Chinadu Uday. And look, we're going to get these, hopefully get a couple of these kids to come on and do a video or even do a live and answer some questions so you can get to know some of the young stars on their way. And look, doesn't mean they're going to play NRL, but you know what? Get amongst the fans, get us fans, you guys out there getting to know some of the youngsters. And it's always good to see a youngster come through and make the grade and do really good things. And I just think it helps you appreciate the whole spectrum as well when they might go to another club or whatever and do well. But I'm raving a bit. Thank you so much for giving that to me, Elaine. Very, very appreciative.
Thanks a lot.
So get on there. Yep, Timmy, Braith's in the squad. Welcome to Sayed. Haven't seen you for a while. Hopefully Leo's quad strain is okay by round 1. Look, as I said, I hope Leo's fine by round 1. And Gus actually said if they had to play today, he would play. So they've just been getting him prepped. I'd love a situation where he comes to our club like a Ben Hannett and just goes hell for leather straight up. You know, like when we brought Greg Eastwood to the club, when we brought Pritchard to the club, important forwards that we brought to our club and just went hell for leather straight away. I'll even say David Staggs, even though he was a lot smaller. And these guys contributed at a very high level from the moment they came into the Bulldogs rugby league team. And I'm hoping we get that from Leo Thompson. But as I said, our depth is there. It doesn't all hinge on that. Yes, if you watch a lot of games, our forward packs at different times got steamrolled for periods of the game, but never lasted long. And they knew what they were doing. And what I did notice in a couple of teams that played us a second time, as their season went on, they tried to learn from that, especially the Sharks. I think when round 4, when they came out and blasted us for 10 minutes and it looked like we were going to get steamrolled. No, very confident the Sharks, and they lost by 14 points. We beat them, 20-6. Preston had an amazing game, moved from right edge to left edge for that match. And I think the Sharks, what I noticed is they built in the games a bit more and worked on a more of a 80-minute strategy and not trying to blow teams away in the first 5 minutes, because it certainly backfired against them that day. I can tell you that much. Raiders, another team who looked like they were rolling through us. But I was literally starting to notice with 10 minutes to go in that first half, they were getting tired with the ball. They had all the possession. There's no way they should have lost that match. And in a game where, 52 points for all scored down the one end of the field, which is another interesting stat to look at in the game of rugby league. So,
except for Max King under the post.
I love that. God, I love that. That was actually a really good play there by. It was a good setup, but Toby Sexton, he was in a couple of movements leading up to that, but yeah, Toby he didn't have to think. He just played off the front foot, That's why I think Toby might actually go all right at number 9. You know what I mean? I don't think it's beyond him. And some NRL quality 7s become really good hookers. So maybe he just instinctively just went the right way, turned it inside, and give it to the most unlikely try scorer of all time in Max King, who went back to back in consecutive weeks after that. Top 8 predictions next week. Look, I think we'll wait till after the Newcastle trial.
Yes.
I think that's fair.
Yep.
But honestly, I'll have no idea. I've got no idea now, and I'll have no idea then. I think top 4, one team will drop out.
I think we're going to wait
sure.
an extra week as well. There's an extra trial week as well while we're away. So I think the week after, once we've played the 3 weeks of trials, I think we can then have a look at some predictions before the season starts.
That's it.
Yeah, that would work best.
All right, we covered everything off today.
Yep, all looking good, guys. Don't
Right,
forget, guys, go on there and support Footy Ahead. Put your team entry in, who you think's going to win. So make sure you like them on Facebook and on Instagram.
Guys.
And don't forget, Dogfather Media's got everything you need, guys. Everything you need.
Look at this, guys, just quickly. Full collection. Get them on side ref, have a go, you mug. They can't run without legs. All big sayings in rugby league. Bludgeon on the blind. All day ref. Straight. I like this one, straight out of hibernation, the Perth Bears. Giddy up. Get that on your screen. Giddy up. That's the Broncos' secret power, the toilet water. Then we got the old Uncle Nick under the cap, the sombrero. We've got to get them under the cap. And they can't run without a head ref. It used to be they can't run without legs, but I like that. I'm a third-party dealer, so we've got the brown paper pack. And you got Viva Los Belmore, the one I'm wearing right now. Beautiful shirt, great quality. Gamble responsibly, put it all on the Cowboys. City of the Knights. I like the Dragons one. The Slaying strip, so it's a Las Vegas special edition for Dragon supporters. And then you got the Gamble responsibly on a couple of the teams as well. So the limited edition are obviously the Vegas shirts. And we're going to get some more shirts coming. We'll have a Dogfather shirt for people if they want to buy it. And I think we'll have we might split the profits or something like that. Send him off. That'll be... Yeah, and as I said, if you got an idea, guys, you got something that you think would make a funny shirt, let us know. Or go to Footy Head and subscribe to their emails and whatever, and you can send Steve an idea. But I think that's it, Gas. I think I'm out of puff. I think I've run out. I've played 80 minutes straight.
Go and recover. Catch you guys all later. Thanks all for your day and for your night.
Thank you, and a big thank you to Elaine, Lucas, and Andy, who's traveling around. He's in Sri Lanka at the moment.
No, he's in Bali.
Bali, sorry.
Yep.
I thought it was.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, mate. And thank you to you, Gas, as well, for your extra money as well. Much appreciated. And a book's going to go out to Lucas, the rugby league coach, signed copy from Lee Addison.
Anyone who's not doing anything Saturday night, come out to Cogger, guys. Come and see these guys play. Come and say hello. We're going to be on the hill holding the banner. Come and see us. Let's go. Let's get
out to Cogra. Like, what are you doing if you're not going out to Cogra on Saturday if you live in Sydney?
On.
Well, why wouldn't you go?
We've waited all this time to see the doggies play, guys. Come on, no excuses. Come on, let's go.
Go there and support Hughesy and DSF and all those kids.
That's it.
Get out there and get loud, get proud. And it doesn't matter if we win or it doesn't matter. Just get out there and support them.
That's it, guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Gas. You've been amazing again tonight. And thank you to everyone. I'm not going to go through you all again, but well done. And I'll see you all soon. There'll be some more stuff released this week, obviously. We're always doing stuff. Go the Dogs.
Go the doggies.
Yo, what up, guys? Want to give a massive shout out to All Things Bulldogs. If you guys haven't watched their podcast, check them out. Let's go.
Hey guys, Tuesday nights, All Things Bulldogs Podcast. Make sure you get onto it. Go the Doggies.
Shout out All Things Bulldogs.
Every Tuesday night, mate.
Every Tuesday night.
All Things Bulldogs, mate.
All Things Bulldogs YouTube, Tuesday night.
Tuesday
live.
night. That's it. Every week, mate.
All Things Bulldogs. Big shout out. Up the Doggies.
Every Tuesday night we do a podcast, mate.
Oh, yeah.
Our biggest supporters, mate.
Things Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Josh.